Hello and welcome to edition 187 of My Bonus Life, and here's today's agenda. So firstly, I want to talk about what we talked about in Drone Pilot School Week 2 and probably clear up a little bit of confusion that may have crept in around why there are so many people that fly drones without a license, and they are actually, in most cases anyway, doing that completely legally. So up on the agenda you can see there, if you have what's called a micro-sized drone, which is defined as being 249 grams or less, then in Australia anyway, you don't need a license to fly that drone. However, if your drone is classed as very small, which is 250 grams to 2 kilograms, you do need a license. Or what's called a small drone, which is 2 kilos to 25 kilos, you need an endorsement for a small drone. And for a medium drone is considered to be 225 kilograms to 250 kilograms. And I believe above that there is then large drones and very large drones. The very large drones are like the US Reaper drones, which are mainly used for military purposes. At the end of my course, I'm going to be certified for the very small and small commercial drones. So I'll be able to fly drones up to 25 kilograms. And the way it basically works is you do the course and the course gives you competencies. You then apply to CASA, which is the Civil Aviation Safety Authority of Australia, to get endorsed. So I will get a very small drone endorsement and a small drone endorsement. If I then wanted to go and do more study and get more hours and more experience, I could get endorsed for a medium drone up to 250 kilos. Or if my work needed it, I could go and get endorsed for larger than 250 kilograms. Hearing that it's based on categories and individual endorsements reminds me that it's actually very, very similar to the way pilots are endorsed commercially or even private pilot's license. So you can get a pilot's license, but you then have to get endorsed on the exact model of plane you're going to fly. So you might get endorsed on a Cessna 152, and then you'd have to get endorsed on a Cessna 172 or a Air Commander Shrike. And you would need to get all of these different certifications to show that you can fly that exact type of aircraft. So this is very similar. So basically by the end of this course, I will be able to show competency for very small or small drones, and that's it. So that's cool. So that's how that works. Now, during the week that's passed, it was on Friday actually, last Friday, Caroline and I, along with Ricky and Sammy actually, went to see the David Bowie memorial concert at the East Perth Power Station, which is part of the Festival of Perth. And the show was called Rebel Rebel, and it was the West Australian Symphony Orchestra doing 18 David Bowie hits with singers that had actually sung with David Bowie when David was alive. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. You are going to see plenty of footage from it in the outros. And it occurred to me that while I was sitting there listening to this music, it just weirdly struck me how many of David Bowie's songs refer to the colour blue. So, and this isn't all of them, by the way. I've Googled this, and the 4 that I noticed on the night are not the only 4. But Dance the Blues from Let's Dance, that's put on your red shoes and dance the blues, which to me is one of the finest lyrics ever written. Planet Earth is blue and there's nothing I can do is a lyric from Space Oddity. Jazzing for Blue Jean is from the song Blue Jean, or Jazzing for Blue Jean. I'll Give You Eyes of Blue is one of the lyrics from China Girl, sorry. So it occurred to me while I was sitting there that so many of David's songs have the word blue in them, and his lyrics are just amazing. I haven't listed it there, but Major Tom is probably one of my favourite songs, because particularly now with my cancer journey, because it talks about launching into the unknown and how scared you are at that point. But yeah, that you have to go. So there's that. Also, during the week, or yesterday actually, I released If You Know, You Know episode 4. And the reason that I did finish that story and published it yesterday was I was just listening to Spotify, and a Sneaker Pimps song came on, which is Six Underground. And I was listening to the song and I went, these lyrics are brilliant. And they really go with this story that I wrote that was going to be episode 5, but if I want, I can make it episode 4. And the reason is I was going to write an episode 4 that was to do with the reasons that I left World Geoscience, which was basically that I had a terrible time in Indonesia on one survey and got horrible diarrhea, as it turned out, and combined with the fact that we had had quite a few aircraft crashes, quite a few of my friends had died, and I felt like if I kept doing it, eventually I was going to be one of those deaths. So weirdly, if I'd written that episode 4, that really fits in with my storyline of my relationship with death, threaded through my life. So in a way, it's a shame I didn't write that episode. However, I had a previously written episode which was called Paradise on Money Street, which was where I'd left World Geoscience, left geophysics, and I discovered the rave scene. And I thought this Sneaker Pimp song, and the lyric that got me was, it's to do with a fall from grace. It's something long, and obviously the song Six Underground is referring to death, being buried 6 feet underground. And the lyric goes something along the lines of, I'm getting ready for a fall from grace, something like that. And the lyric just really sat in with my song, because of course, getting into the rave scene and the drugs and all of that, whilst it was brilliant, it did in a lot of ways set me up for a fall from grace, which comes later in the story that we'll get to. On the car scene, Happy, we've had a little hiccup with Happy. So this is the brake pad, the brake pad, pedal pad cover, and you can see that little hole in the corner there. So I ordered what I thought was a pedal pad for it, and it turns out the BK series and the very, very early BL series take that, but the later BLs take one that is smaller. So as you can see, it's smaller. And of course it doesn't fit. So I've ordered the correct part online, and hopefully I can sell that to someone with a BK. If you've got an automatic BK in Australia, please contact me, because I've got the pedal pad you need. So Happy will get the pedal pad once that arrives, and we should be all good. That's all I've got to say for today. It's going to be a nice short one. So please subscribe and like. The like button is about there. So just click it. It costs you nothing. If you want, click the subscribe button, which is here somewhere. Also costs you nothing, but it helps me. So I'd really appreciate it. Now, please enjoy this outro, because these are the videos that I took at the Rebel extravaganza. I didn't record everything, and the reason I didn't do that is when I go to concerts, I like to watch the concert. I don't like to spend all my time holding up a phone. I don't believe that that's going to a concert. I believe that's, shooting footage that's not as good as being there, so why are you bothering? So, but here is the not as good as being there footage for you to enjoy of David Bowie and Rebel. Enjoy. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Pushing down on you, no man is far. Under pressure, there's a building down, splits the family into We had 5 years left to cry. Newsman wept and told us Earth was really dying. Cried so much his face was wet, and I knew he was not lying. I heard telephone, opera house, favorite melodies. I saw boys, toys, electric irons and TVs. My brain hurt like a werewolf. I had no room left to spare. I had to cram so many things to get everything in there. And all the fat, skinny people, and all the tall, short people, and all the nobody people, and all the somebody people. I never thought I'd need so many people. Girl my age went off her head. It's some tiny children. If the black hadn't pulled her off, yeah, I think she would have killed him. Soldier with a broken arm fixed his stare to the wheel of a Cadillac. A cop knelt and kissed the feet of a priest.
but she's hooked to the silver screen, and the film is a saddening bore, 'cause she knows it 10 times